I struggle a lot with self-discipline. It's something which, in a sort of battle that I've always had.
When I'm passionate about something, you're going to know about it, because I won't stop talking about it.
It's not my comfort zone, admittedly.
Because it's never enough, no matter, like, I might have like the best set ever. Sangeet, you need to go up like at least another 3 or 4 and like fucking do 15 reps.
Yeah, you're right.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, really improved not just my physical health, but my mental health too.
Yeah.
And I
don't know what like hard is. You don't know what training hard is, so people will just give you more respect. It's just how it is. Like,
stopped everything. You told me to come off the machine, and you said, how do you expect to make progress if you're not going, not just 100%, but 110%?
Yeah. Alright, what's good everyone? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Chili Gains. So in this video, I've got a special guest for you guys. I've got Sangeet. Yeah, Sangeet is one of my first few clients that I started training. As I started this coaching business face to face, I can train Sangeet now every morning at 6 o'clock, 3 days a week. So he's been with me quite a lot.
A little while now,
last couple of months. Seen a lot of progress. We've just finished a session actually. We just finished training. Shoulders, abs, and a bit of cardio. Pretty good session, intense session. You're learning a lot.
Definitely.
Doing a lot of new movements, which is good. We did military press, lateral raises. We did a little bit of mobility work for his shoulders as well. So a little bit of that kind of stretching and mobility, pre-exercise stuff, which is very important. If you guys want to check out that video, there'll be a link up there. Watch that video. Very useful information in that video. But yeah, I thought I would sit down with Sangeet and I'll have him ask me some questions, just because obviously we train together all the time.
Absolutely.
And I think it's good to get a bit of feedback, but also get him ask me any fitness related questions, or any questions really that I can answer, and hopefully I'll be answering some of your questions as well through him. So yeah, what was it that you wanted to?
So yeah, I suppose, well, I'm a relative newbie when it comes to the gym. I had little to no experience, working out on my own or in a group in this sort of setting before. So first of all, very grateful to you, John, for the last 2 or 3 months. It's really improved not just my physical health, but my mental health too. And I feel prepared each and every day now, thanks to you. But I suppose my first question was really just about, what was your motivation in starting gym in the first place, all those years ago?
Yeah, well, to answer and just to respond to what you said, honestly, I really do appreciate that. You've been absolutely smashing it. I direct you and I guide you, but at the end of the day, you have to do the work. You're always showing up. You're putting in the work, putting in the grind, and I think that shows in your physique. It shows in your confidence. Obviously, you're gaining weight. Your core strength is improving. Your technique is improving. So fair play to you as well. I shouldn't take all the credit here, because obviously I'm helping you, I'm coaching you, but you are the one doing the work and you're the one who committed to the process. So that's important to note. Also, when I started and what got me into lifting, I started when I was 15 years old, and me and one of my friends from high school were like quite active. I was always into sports, played a lot of rugby, did a lot of athletics. I was always into sports, so I always loved all my sprints, all the fast twitch, muscle fiber movements, like 100 meters, 200 meters, triple jump, all that kind of stuff. Loved rugby, played rugby for years. I think I stopped at uni because of injuries. I wanted to focus on fitness, but most of it was just to want to look bigger and be stronger. Just because obviously, as you're growing up, you're watching movies of Arnie, Rambo, all of that kind of stuff inspires you. You're watching a lot of cartoons as well, anime, Naruto, seeing all of them do 1,000 press ups, or doing all the moves and stuff. You're oh yeah, I want to be fit and strong. I want to go to the gym. But yeah, I think mainly it was just for rugby to kind of make me fitter and stronger for that. I was a forward, so you needed a bit of size. You needed to have a little bit of size in you to be able to dominate as a forward. Yeah. Obviously, fitness is important as well. Although I didn't really do that much cardio when I started, I knew that would help me out in that aspect as well. And then obviously athletics, that would have helped me out. And then obviously I just started and I fell in love with it. I was going to the gym 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, just training and doing loads of different exercises. We didn't really have too much direction at the time because it was quite new to us at the time as well, but you learn as you go along. You learn what to do, what not to do. You get injured. You do the wrong things. You're always tired. But you learn along the journey. You learn how to put your foot off the gas when you've done a bit too much. You learn how to do the right exercises through watching YouTube videos and so on. And here I am now.
Absolutely.
How many years later? 6.
10 plus, isn't it? And
Yeah,
that leads,
11 years later, something like that.
leads me on to the next question, really, which was obviously fitness was so much a part of your personal life and what you were doing when you were a teenager. When did that click occur that you sort of wanted to take into it? You know, you could do a rehabilitation science as a degree at uni and almost look at it as from a vocational perspective too. When did that mindset?
It's a good question, that. I think, naturally speaking, because I was always good at PE, I ended up doing it for GCSE and A levels. I ended up doing biology, psychology, and those kind of subjects kind of mix quite well with doing rehabilitation science and also doing physiotherapy later on as a master's. So it almost felt like a natural transition where I was moving towards that, because like, what else would I have done? It's quite sporty. I didn't really entertain too many options that much. It was just kind of a natural transition between me doing that as a degree and then obviously doing my master's in physio, which allows me to obviously learn a lot about the body, learn a lot about movement, learn a lot about rehabilitation. And and now I'm here obviously coaching, using that knowledge within my coaching and trying to move things forward.
Absolutely.
So I think that's how it kind of happened, and almost like a seamless kind of transition. But yeah.
And that again sort of leads on to the other question. You know, I've been training with you for an hour, as you mentioned, 3 or 4 times a week for the last few months now. And one thing I've noticed is you're a well-known face in this gym, John. You know, a lot of people know you.
I've been here for a long time, man. So
a long time.
You get to know some people.
I think it's quite nice as well, because as a client, I can see that so many of the people here trust you when it becomes to advice that they might have, whether it's some soreness in a part of their body, or if they want some in advice with regard to their form on a certain exercise. I suppose, what aspect of your personality, what compels you to share that knowledge and wisdom that you've accrued in the time that you've been learning and practicing gym and fitness?
It's a good question. What part of my personality enables me to want to share it?
Yeah, well, why do you feel compelled to do that? I don't mean, look, I'll be honest, not everybody has that sense of kind of generosity, and kind of, people may have the wisdom, but they may not feel compelled to impart it. But for you, it's almost a part of your character, sort of what I'm trying to say.
think it is. I think it is just that. Trying to actually reason it. I think I'm just quite chatty. I like to speak to people. I like to talk. When I'm passionate about something, you're going to know about it, because I won't stop talking about it. And so it just happens naturally. It's not that I'm like trying to give advice to someone or doing this for someone. If I see someone and we're speaking about the gym and I know that I can help, or I know I can give them a tip or give them a rehabilitation advice, I'm just gonna give it because it costs nothing to me, and I like speaking about it, so why not give it away? And I think that translates to me training as well, training my clients. I end up like going quite deep, explaining things thoroughly, trying to explain to you why you're doing something, explain it in a different way, try and make you understand it. And I think it's just naturally in me to like have that passion, even when I've got low energy, and like you can tell I'm not even I still convey it where, you know, like cool, like I'm passionate about it. You can probably see, obviously, you probably notice that, but yeah, I think it's just my character, isn't it? I like to talk, and I'm passionate about the things that I like, so that's the reason why I do share it.
Definitely, and I'd say it's contagious as well. Like, I can't help but, you know, when I see somebody else come to you for advice, if you're so kind of willingly able to share that with other people, it's that passion and that enthusiasm is contagious. It makes me want to go harder, and it makes me want to push myself further. And I just feel privileged to kind of, you know, the time that we spend together and the time that I spend learning from you. I really enjoy it. I get a lot from it.
Good. What would you say are the things you've learned that surprised you?
I think, first and foremost, discipline. The discipline required to. It's not just the exercise itself. It's coming to the gym every day, or the days that I am in. That's half the battle, you know. And then once you're here, and I admit, like, this is quite an unnatural environment for me. The music, the people. It's not. It's not my comfort zone, admittedly, but being able to lean on you for that support, and you have a set of exercises, they're all pre-planned. If my form isn't good, you'll be very quick to correct it and work to advise me in a way which is easy to comprehend too. So I feel in safe hands, as safe as I possibly can be.
Yeah, that's good. And I think obviously, your demeanor, your comfort around the gym, just looking back to the first time you were in here, all the way till now, has increased, and obviously confidence has gone up. You're stronger. You're doing physio. You're growing as a person as well. So that's really good. And I obviously appreciate the feedback. That's what I'm here to do. I like to push you, and I like to see you win, and obviously get better. Not just with the gym, but the mental side of it as well is very important. I normally like to say, like when I'm at the gym, it's, you know when you're pushing and you know when you're not pushing.
Yeah,
you're not lying.
Without a doubt.
You can't lie to yourself. But you get to a point, like if you're very self-critical and you analyze everything that you do, it's almost a drawback, because it's never enough. No matter, like, I might have like the best set ever, and I'm like pushing myself, but I know that I could have done more. And you're almost like always chasing your tail with it. But you have to get to a point where you're like, okay, let me just push as hard as I can, and I know that everything on the table. But you're never gonna do it every time. You never. So it's trying to find that balance. But you know when you're pushing hard, and you know when you're not. That's period. So always try to give it your best effort, because at the end of the day, what you're putting in is what you're gonna get out. Was there anything else in terms of exercise specifically, or like
there was
other questions or anything like that?
Following on from what you just said, to be fair, there was one thing I remember. It might have been our second or third week working together, and I'd got into the rhythm maybe of how our sessions worked. We'd maybe do 5 or 6 separate exercises, and I think we were on our second exercise, and you were questioning me, and you told me you weren't sure if I was pushing myself, as I should do, and I said, no, John, you're right, I'm not, because I know we've got a couple more exercises to go. And you stopped everything, you told me to come off the machine, and you said, how do you expect to make progress if you're not going, not just 100%, but 110%? And then it dawned on me that, I mean, like, I might think I'm kind of gaming the system a little bit by saving myself for future exercises, when in fact, actually, no, I'm just kind of pissing about.
You can't over science it. Just fucking work hard. Just train hard. Like, you're gonna get. If you train hard, you're gonna get big. You're gonna get strong. So I understand the logic. Obviously, I've got loads of exercises. Let me save myself. And there is such a thing as junk reps and kind of like doing too much. But for the most part, at your stage, you want to be training hard. You don't want to be thinking about, let me save myself. I remember when you were doing a leg press and you were doing like, I can't remember what weight it was, and I was like, Sanjeev, you need to go up like at least another 3 or 4 and like fucking do 15 reps.
You're right.
And you're like, what? And then I remember we ended up changing it, and you did it.
I know, very true.
Especially with beginners, you don't know what like hard is. You don't know what training hard is. So your brain is gonna wanna do what's comfortable. So you almost have to kind of override that and like change your perspective on what hard is. And sometimes it takes someone like a coach or someone like me to tell Sangeet, come on, you can push harder than that. Let's fucking do more reps. Let's go up in weight. And then you feel that resistance. You can see it in his face. Your face. Like, okay, now you're working. I'm like, cool. How many times have I looked over and been like, up the weight by 2?
I know.
And like, and you do it, and you're like, oh, I can actually do this. It's hard, but I'm able to do it. It's resistance training at the end of the day. There needs to be a resistance.
And I think
otherwise, on weight training, there needs to be some sort of resistance for you to get the growth.
And you mentioned it there, like, even I get a little endorphin, a little hit now. When I hear you say, now you're working, that for me, that confirms, like, it's palpable. You've seen it. And I think for me as well, I struggle a lot with self-discipline. It's something which, sort of in a sort of battle that I've always had. And having that external confirmation helps a lot, I've got to say. I had one more question, John, which was juggling responsibilities, managing priorities. How do you feel the gym has helped or does help when it comes to that, not just from a gym perspective, but a work perspective, a personal life perspective? Are there any key learnings maybe that you have?
It's a good question. That how does gym help with your personal life? Is essentially what you're asking. How does it help with your organisation? Well, I think going to the gym, it will help you with just mental discipline. So your brain doesn't know the difference between forcing itself to do loads of reps of a dumbbell and forcing yourself to like pay attention with a certain amount of work. It's the same muscle. It's mental discipline, staying focused whilst completing a task. So from that perspective, it helps you loads with. It's very transferable to your personal life because you can obviously transfer that easily with work, relationships, not getting angry, maybe being a bit more present. Know that you can actually stick to something. Going to the gym in and of itself, obviously it's a habit. Especially if it's at the same time. So creating a habit, something stable in your routine, causes you to have a little bit more kind of stability and structure within your day, where everything else can come from.
Yeah.
Obviously, the obvious, when you go to the gym, you feel good. There's a little bit more of an endorphin rush, especially if you do it in the morning like we've been doing. So already stressed about that puts you in a good mood for the rest of the day. You're a little bit more vibrant. You can speak to people a little bit more confidently. You present yourself a little bit better. You move a little bit better. Your posture's better. You're smiling. So it's strong about it's pushing you through your day to be a little bit more kind of in a better mood, and it's start the day a little bit better. How else does it help? Obviously, when you start to gain a bit of muscle, you are strong. People will just give you more respect. It's just how it is. Like the more size you have, the stronger you are. It shows that you're disciplined. It shows that you take care of yourself. It shows that you're confident. It means you're confident in the way that you're moving. So straight off the bat, there's first, second, third, all the consequences that occur as a result of that. So that's something that you will notice as well with your family members. Obviously, you're starting here. You haven't had that much gym experience, but later down the line, even you already said your sister was noticing some changes, and you were doing like a month and a half or 2 months in. So wait till you're like a year in, 2 years in, 3, 4, 5, 11 years like me. What are you gonna look like? How are you gonna feel? What are the people that you're gonna attract to your life because of that? There's different layers to it. So yeah, hope that answers that question.
It does. That was all from me, John.
Yeah,
that was
cool, lovely. I hope you guys got something out of that video. I think that was a pretty good one. I think that's quite insightful for everyone to kind of understand that. I spoke about why I started lifting in the gym before, but just for the new audience, getting a different perspective is quite good to hear. Obviously, the discipline stuff as well, the mental side of things is very important. So I appreciate you having to sit down and
thanks for your time.
You're going to see more of Sangeet. We just finished a session today. We're probably going to film a little bit more so you can see his progress moving forward. But if you guys enjoyed that video, leave a like down below, comment down below what was your favorite part. Is there any questions you want to ask me? And also subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I'll meet you guys in the next video. Cool. Nice one.